Welcome back, YouTube, to another soccer slash football prediction. It's your boy Freddy Da Silva. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe so you won't miss any of your future soccer predictions. All right. Today's prediction video will be for Thursday, March 20, the CONCACAF National League. We have USA versus Panama, Mexico versus Canada. And then I will be doing the FIFA World Cup qualification CONMEBOL. I have Paraguay versus Chile, Brazil versus Colombia, Peru versus Bolivia. Um, I'll talk about the teams. I'll let you know if there's any injuries. I'll talk about the total, and I'll give you my predictions. So let's get straight into it. Why not? All right. I'm gonna start off with USA versus Panama. Injuries: Anthony Robinson, Johnson, Cardoso, and Austin Trusty will be missing the CONCACAF due to injuries. So they ended up calling Max Arstein, Brian Gutierrez, and Jack McGlynn. So they'll be playing instead of the other ones. As far as Panama, there's not really any injuries there. I think they're still the same. We're gonna have to wait for the lineup just to see who will be lining up, who'll be starting. But that's pretty much it for that. As far as the total is sitting at 2.5, and between these two teams, it seems like whoever plays at home ends up winning. Panama played at home twice versus USA. They ended up winning those two. USA played at home 3 times, and they ended up winning 2 out of those 3. The other one was a tie 1-1. But as far as the total on the 2.5, it has gone over 2 out of 5 times. So only twice it has gone over that 2.5. Do I see this going over? Probably not. The team total points, USA sitting with 1.5. They've covered this 2 out of 5 times. Now, Panama's sitting at 0.5. I probably see this more than anything else because they've covered this 4 out of 5 times. So, and the last 5, the 5 most recent games from Panama, they got 1 win, 3 L's, and 1 draw. As far as USA, they got 4 wins, 1 L. So, how do I see this one? I don't know why I feel like Panama will score. If Panama does end up scoring, that means USA would have to make 2, which means it'll cover that 2.5, total points 2.5, plus that team total over 1.5. But then again, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for that one. Let's see. The 3 most recent games actually for USA, they've covered this 1.5. Yeah, it's just against Panama, they've only covered this 1.5 twice. So this one's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie to you. I do feel like USA could win this one. They have the ability to win this, even though they got some of the players and some of the players that are not going to be there. But regardless, I feel like they could win this one. I just don't know if it'll go over that 5. This could easily be 2-0 or 1 or 1-0. Apologize for that. But like I said, Panama, they've covered 4 out of 5 at this 0.5. Now, the 5 most recent games from Panama, them covering that 0.5, same thing. They covered 4 out of 5 out of the most recent games. They do allow, it seems like they allow their opponents to score 3 out of 5 times. They've allowed their opponents, actually, I apologize, 4 out of 5 times they've allowed their opponents to score against them. So, yeah, I see USA making it go for sure. I just don't know if this will go over 2.5, but I'm gonna have to. I'm trying to do the best bet here for you guys, but because the most recent game between these two teams, which was back in October 12, 2024, Panama did not score. right? But Panama did play February 8th, 2025 for an international friendly. They ended up losing 6-1. Regardless, they still got that point five. Um, and the most recent for USA, January 22nd, 2025, they ended up scoring three, right? And then 2 days before that one, they ended up scoring another three, but they did allow their opponents to score on that one. So, let me see. At home. Okay, so at home they score. It seems like when they play at home, when USA plays at home, they score more than 1.5. They're able to cover this 1.5. So yeah. So the three most recent games they covered this 1.5. Then between these two teams, USA at home has covered 2 out of 3 times. So it seems like the 1.5 is probably the best way to go on this one. But yeah, this one's gonna be tough, guys. Regardless, I see USA winning this one. So give me USA to win. And as far as the total, I'm gonna go with USA over 1.5. Okay, on to the next game. We have Canada versus Mexico. You already know I'm Mexican. If you don't know, you don't know. But I know you know. So now, just because I'm Mexican doesn't mean that we're gonna win. Even though I feel that we are gonna win, this one's gonna be probably a tough game. Probably one of our toughest games we're gonna have in a minute. And the last time that USA played against Canada, they tied, right? Before that, we ended up losing 2-1. Then before that, we ended up tying again. So we've in the last five head to head between these two teams, we've beaten twice. So and they were only able to beat us once because the other two were tied. So regardless of the situation, this is going to be a tough one for us. And basically, the last five most recent games from Canada, they have not taken an L, right? In Mexico, on the other hand, they've taken one L in their last five games. They got 3 wins and one draw, one L. So worse is that we ended up losing 2-0 to Honduras, right? But obviously we were on the road. Regardless, we ended up losing. Then we ended up coming back 4-0. We ended up winning that one at home. This one's going to be a tough one because even though we're not at home on this one, we have way more. Mexico has more support than Canada. I'll tell you that. So I'm gonna have to go with Mexico winning this one, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised if I see a tie in this one. You know, but regardless, I feel like Mexico could win this one if they come in there. Wanting to win, they could win this one. Don't sleep on Canada though. They got a pretty good squad. A lot of their um, a lot of their a lot of their players are playing, in the Europe League. So we the Mexican League is starting, or not the Mexican League, but the Mexican national team. Their players are starting to play now for the Premier League and some of the Spain League and La Liga and stuff like that. So I mean, we got players. It's just the fact that are they gonna want to win or not, right? If they go in there, like I said, if they go in there with everything, they could win this one. Regardless, the total is sitting at 2.5 between these two teams. They've been able to cover this 3 out of 5 times. The most recent, they did not. Both of them didn't even get a goal in. So this one, I feel there will. I feel that there will be some goals. But as far as that 2.5, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I'm gonna have to say I don't know why I feel like this could go under. Let's see, the most recent game from Canada, they scored 3-0. And as far as Mexico, they scored 4-0. So I mean, this could easily go over that 2.5. It's gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna say over. I'm gonna say over because they've covered this 3 out of 5 times. I'm gonna have to depend on Canada putting some work for this over 2.5. But um, as far as the 5 most recent games for Mexico covering this 2.5, they've only covered this 2 out of 5 times. And as far as Canada covering this 3.5, they've covered this 3 out of 5 out of their most recent 5 games. So yeah, I mean, I see this one, right. I see this one going over that 2.5. It could go over that 2.5. As far as that 1.5, they're both sitting at 1.5, and it seems like Mexico has only covered this 2 out of 5 times between these two teams. And as far as their 5 most recent games, they've covered this 3 out of 5 times. Canada ended up covering this same thing 3 out of 5 times. So this is going to be a good game, guys. Like I said, I'm not surprised if this ends up as a tie. I'm going to go ahead and pick Mexico for this one just because I feel like they'll feel more at home. They got more support. It's more Mexican people that will be watching this one. It will be happening here in LA. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go with that. All right. That's going to wrap it up for the CONCACAF National League. Now, I will be talking about Paraguay versus Chile. And will be for the FIFA World Cup qualification. Okay, Paraguay versus Chile. We have no injuries. I don't know who will be lining up, but we'll probably have to wait for that one because there's nothing here. As far as the qualification table, Paraguay is sitting up higher. I want to say they're in 6th place. Chile, basically second to last. Although the most recent game between these two teams, it was an international friendly, Chile ended up winning 3-0. This was back in June 11th, 2024. Between these two teams going at it, it seems like Paraguay cannot beat Chile, right? Out of those 5 times, Chile ended up winning 4 out of 5 times. The other one, the 5th one, was a tie. So, it's just crazy to me. Even though Paraguay is up higher in the table, they cannot beat Chile, right? So, I'm gonna have to go with the stats. I'm just gonna have to go with the stats here and pick Chile to win this one, right? There's no way you go 5 games in a row and not being able to beat the team. So I'm gonna trust my gut and say Chile. I'm gonna trust the stats in this one and go with Chile to win this one. And as far as the total sitting at 2, they've covered this. It has gone over 2 out of 5 times. So not that many times. It has set at 2. So I guess under 2 would be the best bet just because it has happened 3 out of 5 times, even though the most recent it didn't. But this one's crazy. As far as the total sitting at 1.5 for Paraguay, that one's going to be more tough because they've only covered this once out of the last 5 head-to-head. Chile sitting at 0.5. I don't know why they're at 0.5. The most recent game, they got 6. And then before that, they got 4. And the most recent game was not that long ago. It was literally February 8th. So, unless they got injuries that I don't know about, or people that I don't know about not showing up, but them not scoring a goal is crazy. So, give me this literally probably the most the easiest one right here. It would be Chile just to score a goal over that 0.5. And I guess as far as the win, give me Chile to win this one. So yeah, it seems like that's just the best bet. Or you could probably do over that too, because they've covered this over in the five most recent games from Chile. They've covered this. It has gone over 4 out of 5 times. So, and the same thing with Paraguay. Four, or no, not four, but like the 3 most recent games, this has gone over too. So, I guess if you want to, you know, I guess if you want to go on the safer side, would probably be over 2. But I see Chile scoring this one as a 0.5, and as a win, I'm gonna trust the stats and say Chile. So okay, on to the next one: Brazil versus Colombia. Um, Neymar will not be playing in this one because he was complaining about his thigh and I don't know what BS. So I think he just doesn't want to let the world know that he's no longer as good as he used to be. So now he complained about it, and you see he won't be playing this one. So um, as far as Colombia beating Chile, that one's gonna be tough because you still have Vinicius Junior, Rafinha, and them two are, they're a badass team. So, but Colombia, they still got a couple good players too. So I don't know if James Rodriguez will be playing on this one. I feel like he will be, but we'll have to wait and see the lineup for that. But as far as the table, them sitting in the table, Colombia is up higher by 1 point. They're sitting in fourth place, Brazil fifth place. Believe it or not, I'm just surprised as you, but Colombia's sitting at 0.5. They've covered this 3 out of 5 times. The total sitting at 2, and it might move to 2.5. If it does move to 2.5, I'm most likely going to do under, because between these two teams, it has only gone over 2.5 twice. The most recent, it did not. So I could see this like a 2-0 maybe, or 1-0. So I'm going to choose under on this one, but it's going to be tough. Brazil, their 2 most recent games, which was last year, they could only score once. Colombia, their most recent game, same thing, they could only score one. Actually, they didn't score their most recent game. They did score 2 before that, but they ended up taking an L, both of those. Brazil, in their 5 most recent games, only 1 L have they taken. 2 draws and 2 wins. Colombia, 3 L's, 2 wins. This is crazy because I don't know why I felt that Colombia could win this one. I mean, they could win this one if they come in, ready to win, but they haven't been that good lately, apparently. So, they did beat them. So the most recent between these two was a tie. Before that, Colombia did win 2-1. I mean, Brazil can easily win this one. I mean, it's Brazil, right? But they haven't been that good lately. And I mean, in a pretty fat minute, they haven't been good. So, um, this could be a tie. I could see this one going a tie just because they've tied their most recent game, but I'm going to pick Brazil for this one. I'm pick Brazil. Seems like they will be playing at home. And at home, out of the 3 times, they've won twice. So, yeah, give me Brazil to win this one. And as far as the points, I could see Colombia scoring a goal in this one. Let me see. Yeah, it seems like Brazil allow a goal 4 out of 5. 4 out of their most 5 recent games, they've allowed a goal. So, yes, it'll be like hard for them to score a goal, but they can do it. They can do it. So I'm gonna have to say Colombia just scored a goal, and as far as the win, give me Brazil here. So, all right, on to the last game of the video, guys. Let me know if you guys want me to do any other national games, and I'll try to get it for you guys. So, also put down in the comments who do you think is going to win? Who you got? Win or lose, I'll give you guys a shout out. All right. Here we go. Last one. Peru versus Bolivia. The total's sitting at 2.5, or actually it's sitting at 2, and it might move to 2.5. As far as this going over, the five most recent games, as far as it going over, it has gone over 2 out of 5 times. So if it does stay at 2.5, I'm going to say under. And if it stays at 2, I probably won't touch it. And I would probably do Bolivia under 0.5. Just because this 0.5, they've only covered it 3 out of 5 times. Their most recent, they covered it, but the one before that, they did not. Now, Chile's sitting at 1.5. They have not been able to cover this 1.5. Actually, that would probably be the easiest one here. Peru, I don't know why I say Chile. Did I say Chile? I meant Peru. Peru have not been able to cover this 1.5 in their 5 most recent games. So, and between these two teams, they've only covered this twice. The most recent, they did not. So I guess either way you want to put it here, it could happen. This is going to be a low scoring game. This could easily be a 1-0 situation. Peru are at home, so they got that advantage. It seems like at home, out of the 5 most recent games, they played at home twice. Both of those times, they ended up winning. The most recent game was Bolivia at home, and they ended up winning that one. So, yeah, but it seems like at home, Peru's, I guess, a better team. They play better, but they are sitting at the bottom of the table. Peru is at the bottom of the table, guys. So just so you know, but this could be Peru just because they're at home. I feel like this could be Peru. Bolivia sitting up two slots up higher than them, so, or 3 slots up higher than them technically, but yeah, I don't know why I feel like Peru is not gonna make more than 2 or 1. They would cover this under 1.5, or Bolivia to score a goal. So yeah, this is one of the tell. I personally won't bet this one, to be honest with you, but if I did, I would probably say Peru under 1.5, just because they have not been able to cover this. So yeah. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Hope the information I gave you guys were able to make the right decision and make some money. Most of all, I hope you guys enjoyed it. So give a comment, give a like, let somebody know that, they enjoy watching soccer and they want to know predictions. So that'll help me out. Anyway, catch you on the next one. Deuces.